Hi, and welcome to my kitchen. And I have in the oven Schinkenfleckerl, which is an amazingly easy dish from Austria with 4 ingredients and seasoning. You are invited to see how to make this delicious, easy family one-pot dinner. And this is a part of the YouTube cooking collaboration where every month we go to a different part of the world and show you recipes from that region. It's a bunch of talented cooks and chefs. So please do check out all the recipes presenting dishes from Austria that are in the video description below. And stay, because I'm so excited to show you this one. Starting with 2 cups of raw pasta, a pan of hot water. I'm going to put a little bit of salt and a little bit of olive oil, pour in the pasta and cook it on boiling for 6 minutes. Drain the water. Here we have the hot drained pasta, a little bit more olive oil so the noodles don't stick. Give it a stir and put it aside. So the Schinkenfleckerl that I'm showing you, as per my research, is an authentic Austrian version with some changes that I made for reasons I will now tell you. 1, I can't cook with onions in my house, so I did not add onion. 2, I did a tiny substitution of ground coriander for caraway seeds because I don't have caraway seeds. Normally, this would be made with what are called Fleckerl noodles, which are kind of a flat Austrian noodle. I could not find them in my grocery store in a gluten-free version, and I have had a very crazy month and I was just not able to make my own. So instead I substituted rotini, gluten-free rotini. I have a tablespoon of butter and it's cold and it won't spread very well, so I put it in the microwave for 10 seconds and now you see it spreads very well. Spread it all around the pan, then sprinkle about a 1/4 cup of gluten-free breadcrumbs. You can find a link to how to make those in the video description. And this forms the base of the casserole. Now I have sour cream and 4 tablespoons of butter and ham. I'm using sliced ham, but you could use cubed ham as well. You want to cut the ham into bite-sized pieces. You do want it to be cooked ham. And then right in there, and 2 eggs. So crack your eggs, give them a really good whip, and you see how they change color as they get air in them? That's what you want to see. Now we're going to mix in the sour cream in small batches into the egg so that it mixes well and doesn't form lumps. Mix all your sour cream in and give it a really good whisk. And then you'll have this nice smooth liquid when you're finished, which is our sauce for our pasta. 1/2 teaspoon and 1/2 of salt and pepper, and I'm adding 2 tablespoons of the 4, and I melted the butter. Give it a good whip again. You could add more butter if you want, and throw in the ham. And this is what we're going to do for our pasta. This is the sauce for our pasta. Put it in, give it a good stir, and then look amazing, and it's not even cooked yet. I forgot to add a 1/3 teaspoon of ground coriander and a pinch of nutmeg. So we're putting that in, and now we're going to put this in our prepared casserole dish. You could use a round one if you prefer. It's ready to go in the oven with more breadcrumbs on top, which will add color and really just help it brown up nicely and get a little crispy. Doesn't that look amazing? Cook at 350 Fahrenheit for 40 minutes. It has now come out of the oven and I am testing it to see if the noodles are soft, and they are. Let's give this a taste. There we go. I will talk more about the taste later. So here I have some parsley leaves that I washed and dried, and now I pulled them off the stems and I'm cutting them up. And we're going to use this as a final garnish on our casserole to just make it look good, add nutrition and taste. Parsley has a lovely taste. There you go, spread it all around. And this is our finished meal. Like, how easy is that? Let's cut out a piece and see how it looks on the plate. Now this casserole is not super creamy and sticky together, so I don't expect it to come out in one piece, and that's fine. I decided to make a really quick salad to go with it. Very simple. Some lettuce, some tomato, some cucumber. That's all you need for a basic salad. And I'm going to show you how to make a quick vinaigrette, balsamic vinaigrette, a little bit of olive oil, and then just a tiny splash of balsamic vinegar, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Of course, you can add other seasoning if you want. and then give your dressing a good stir, pour it on top, and because I love sauerkraut, I'm throwing that on top, but that's optional. So here's our salad. And now I decided, since I have the parsley, let's add it for decoration. I've got some grapefruit that needed to be eaten. I've got the casserole and the salad, and this is a whole meal. So there you go. This casserole is very interesting because it doesn't have a lot of liquid. It has a little bit of sour cream, but it doesn't have milk. You could add a little bit of milk if you wanted, but it's optional. And it doesn't have cheese. So it's a very light casserole. It's not heavy. It's not full of dairy. And because you add the coriander and the nutmeg, or caraway seed if you prefer, it has a very interesting flavor. And I really loved the taste of this casserole because without the milk and the cheese, you could really taste all the seasoning you put in. The salt, the pepper, the coriander, and the nutmeg. And it was just amazing. It just popped in your mouth. And you could also eat a big piece and just feel like this is filling, but light. It doesn't feel heavy. So that is why I absolutely love this casserole dish, because it is different and it is easy to make and it is just, filling and yet not heavy. So I invite you to give it a try. So my channel is about everything gluten-free because I can't eat gluten. And I love to try different foods. I have classic foods with gluten that I love and miss. So I do my utmost to research and test to give you a gluten-free version of something that will look as close as possible to the original and taste like the original without the gluten. Check out my other recipes. And if you're new here, please subscribe to my channel, give me a like, and leave me a comment. Do you need to eat gluten-free or not? And will you give this recipe a try? Or have you already made it? And if that's the case, do you love it? Or do you just like it? Do check out the links of my collaborators in the video description. And thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next recipe and have a great week.